Welcome to TIK Radio.
Thank you, listeners. We're overjoyed that 14 countries listened to us in February 2024. It's amazing. Your support is truly appreciated. And here's to you. Cheers to everyone. ¿Estás escuchando?
And now,
TIK Radio. United States, thank you. Thank you, listeners from the United States. We appreciate your support for TIK Radio. And I have an interesting fact about United States and Mexico. Did you know that we share one of the busiest international borders in the world with significant cultural and economic exchange? And do you know that we have an estimated populations of millions of U.S. citizens residing in Mexico, particularly in Mexico City, Puerto Vallarta, and San Miguel de Allende? México. Gracias a todos los oyentes en México por su apoyo a TIK Radio. Tenemos un dato curioso. México es conocido por su rica cultura, su deliciosa comida y su diversidad geográfica, desde playas hasta selvas y desiertos. La población nativa mexicana es de más de 120 millones de personas. Thank you, Mexico, for all your support to TIK Radio. Mexico is known for its rich culture, delicious cuisine, and geographical diversity. From beaches to jungles and deserts. Estimated population in Mexico today is 120 million people. United Kingdom. Thank you to our listeners from the United Kingdom and for supporting TIK Radio. And people from United Kingdom, they have a presence in Mexico, in cities like Mexico City, San Miguel de Allende. Canada, thank you listeners from Canada for being part of the TIK Radio audience. Interesting fact about Canada and Mexico, they share a strong bilateral relationship through the trade agreements like NAFTA. Now it's called USMCA, UMSCA. Australia, big thank you to our listeners from Australia. We're glad to have you with us on TIK Radio. Interesting fact about Australians that live in Mexico, they always enjoy the coastal lifestyles. Some of them residing in Puerto Escondido and Sayulita. Spain, muchas gracias. Thank you, all our Spain listeners. It's very interesting how the Spain culture is very well known in Mexico in their cuisine, architectures, and even traditional cultures. A lot of influence of Spain culture in Mexico City. Estimated population in Mexico, 20,000 people from Spain, especially in Cancun, in Mexico City, and in San Miguel Allende. Netherlands, thank you to our listeners from the Netherlands for being part of the TIK Radio community. Interesting facts about Dutch people that are drawn to Mexico's warm climate and rich cultural heritage, with some residing in places like Playa del Carmen and Tulum. Estimated population in Mexico, approximately 3,000 Dutch citizens are estimated to live in Mexico. Obrigado, Brasil. Ovnites do Brasil por fazerem parte da comunidade da TIK Radio. Thank you, our listeners from Brazil. I hope my pronunciation was good enough so you can understand. Interesting facts about Brazil and Mexico. We share cultural connections through our love for soccer, music, and vibrant festivals. Estimated population in Mexico, around 15,000 Brazilian citizens living in Mexico. In Mexico City, Cancún, and Playa del Carmen. Germany. Many thanks to our listeners from Germany from your support of TIK Radio. Dankensen. Interesting facts about Germans that live in Mexico. They often contribute to many industries. Estimated population in Mexico, it's estimated that around 5,000 German lives in Mexico. Most of them live in Mexico City and Querétaro, because I study in Querétaro and I know some German citizens in Querétaro. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you to our listeners from Bosnia and Herzegovina for being part of the TIK radio community. There are individuals from the country who have settled in various cities in Mexico, contributing to the cultural diversity. There's a small few, only a few hundred individuals that live in Mexico from Bosnia and Herzegovina. New Zealand. Kia ora to our listeners from New Zealand. Thank you for tuning in into TIK Radio. Interesting facts about New Zealand citizens are known for their adventurous spirit, and some have found their way to Mexico. They are attracted to areas like Sayulita and Tulum. Estimated population in Mexico is relatively small, with approximately 500 individuals living in different parts of the country. Portugal, obrigado, nos ovnites de Portugal. Gracias. Gracias por formar parte de la comunidad de TIK Radio. Thank you for being part of our community. Interesting facts about Portuguese influences can be found in Mexican culture, yes, in the culinary traditions and language. There's a small Portuguese community, so estimated population is around 1,000 individuals residing in various cities in Mexico. Colombia, gracias Colombia for your support to TIK Radio. So it's very interesting, the relationship between Mexico and Colombia. We have similar cultures in the cuisine, in the music, so it's very, very joyful what we share with Colombia. So we have estimated population around 10,000 Colombians that live in Mexico, with significant communities in Guadalajara, Cancún, and Mexico City. Ireland. Thank you to our listeners from Ireland for tuning in into TIK Radio. Irish culture has made its mark in Mexico, particularly through celebrations like St. Patrick's Day, which are widely observed in cities like Mexico City and Cancun. Estimated population is relatively small, with around 2,000 individuals living across the country. Bye-bye. And until the next life. TIK Radio.